Were the mighty Anunnaki truly gods worshipped by ancient Mesopotamians, or visitors from distant worlds who shaped our history? For centuries, clay tablets have told tales of sky beings who descended to Earth, taught humans, and ruled empires. But some believe these gods were actually extraterrestrials guiding civilization's rise. In this video, we peel back layers of myth, archaeology, and conspiracy to explore who or what the Anunnaki really were. Were they divine rulers, symbolic myths, or alien architects of humanity's destiny? Join us as we uncover secrets hidden for millennia in Anunnaki Uncovered. Ancient gods or alien visitors? Human history is filled with mysteries, but few captivate the imagination like the legends of the Anunnaki. Who were these enigmatic figures said to have descended from the heavens, ruled ancient lands, and taught humanity the secrets of civilization? Were they merely gods invented by ancient cultures, or could they have been real beings, perhaps even extraterrestrial visitors? Welcome to an epic journey into the world of the Anunnaki, a story that blurs the lines between mythology, archaeology, and modern conspiracy theories. The birth of a name. Who are the Anunnaki? The term Anunnaki comes from ancient Mesopotamian languages, primarily Sumerian, Akkadian, and Babylonian. Roughly translated, it means those who came from heaven to earth. They are first mentioned in some of humanity's oldest texts, the cuneiform tablets of Sumer. In these writings, the Anunnaki were powerful deities associated with creation, the maintenance of cosmic order, and human affairs. They appear as a divine assembly of gods who decide the fates of humans, the kingship of cities, and even natural phenomena like floods and droughts. But while some texts portray them as purely divine beings, others paint a more complex picture. Rulers who intervened directly in human life, established kingships, built cities, and sometimes punished humanity for disobedience. The mythological roles of the Anunnaki. In Sumerian creation myths, the Anunnaki were often linked to key gods like Anu, the supreme sky deity, Enlil, god of air and authority, and Enki, god of water, wisdom, and magic. These gods formed a hierarchy, with Anu as their father figure. One of the most famous myths, the Epic of Atrahasis, tells how the Anunnaki created humans to ease their burden of labor. Initially, lesser gods called the Igigi were tasked with digging canals and maintaining the earth, but they rebelled due to exhaustion. The Anunnaki responded by creating humans to serve as workers and worshippers. This theme, divine beings engineering humanity for a purpose, is precisely where ancient astronaut theories find fertile ground. Enter the ancient astronaut theory. In the 20th century, researchers began re-examining ancient myths through a modern lens. Could the gods described in ancient texts actually have been visitors from another world? Swiss author Erich von Däniken, in his best-selling 1968 book Chariots of the Gods, proposed that extraterrestrials visited Earth in ancient times, influencing cultures and technology. He suggested that ancient gods, including the Anunnaki, were misunderstood aliens whose advanced technology appeared miraculous to primitive humans. But no figure did more to cement the Anunnaki into UFO lore than Zecharia Sitchin. Zecharia Sitchin and the planet Nibiru. In the 1970s, Azerbaijani-born American author Zecharia Sitchin published The 12th Planet, the first of his Earth Chronicle series. Sitchin claimed that the Anunnaki came from a mysterious planet called Nibiru, which orbits our sun in an elongated path, entering the inner solar system roughly every 3,600 years. According to Sitchin, the Anunnaki arrived on Earth around 450,000 years ago in search of gold to repair Nibiru's failing atmosphere. To mine it, they genetically engineered Homo sapiens using their own DNA combined with that of early hominids. Humans, Sitchin argued, were created as a slave race to work the mines. He further claimed that the Anunnaki established the earliest Mesopotamian civilizations, imparting knowledge of astronomy, agriculture, and writing. It's a captivating story, but how much of it is true? What the ancient texts actually say? While Sitchin's books have sold millions and inspired countless documentaries and YouTube channels, scholars and linguists overwhelmingly reject his interpretations. Experts point out that there's no mention of Nibiru as a home planet of gods in authentic Sumerian or Akkadian texts. Nibiru does appear in Babylonian astronomy, but only as a celestial marker, often referring to Jupiter or another visible star used for tracking planetary movements. Moreover, Sitchin's claims about genetic engineering and gold mining don't exist in the original cuneiform tablets. Many phrases he translates as references to spaceflight or technology are often poetic or religious metaphors in Mesopotamian literature. For instance, the phrase "from heaven to earth they came" is a typical way of describing divine beings descending from the sky, not necessarily aliens stepping off a spacecraft. Why the Anunnaki aliens theory persists. Despite scholarly objections, the theory that the Anunnaki were ancient aliens refuses to fade away. Why? First, it offers a thrilling narrative. The notion that advanced beings came from the stars to shape human civilization provides an epic explanation for humanity's leaps in culture and technology. It ties into the universal question: are we alone in the universe? Second, there are genuine mysteries in ancient Mesopotamian civilization. Sudden civilization leap. How did the Sumerians, around 4500 BCE, suddenly invent writing, complex mathematics, astronomy, monumental architecture, and legal systems? Advanced astronomical knowledge. Sumerians accurately tracked celestial movements and developed calendars still influential today. Myths of gods from the sky. Many cultures, not just the Sumerians, speak of beings descending from the heavens. For some, these gaps are enough to keep the Anunnaki alien hypothesis alive, even if mainstream scholars dismiss it. Anunnaki in art and artifacts. Another intriguing aspect fueling alien theories is Mesopotamian art. Ancient carvings and cylinder seals often depict humanoid figures wearing elaborate headgear, sometimes surrounded by symbols resembling stars, comets, or even rocket-like shapes. Skeptics argue these are simply artistic inventions, representations of divine status, royal authority, or astrological knowledge. But believers see clues pointing to advanced technology. One famous artifact frequently cited is the Sumerian bag, a motif showing gods holding a handbag-shaped object. Similar bags appear in ancient Mesoamerican art. Are they just ritual objects or evidence of portable technology carried by extraterrestrial visitors? No definitive proof exists, but the imagery continues to inspire speculation. The flood myth connection. Another striking thread is the flood myth. Both the Epic of Atrahasis and the Epic of Gilgamesh recount how the gods decided to wipe out humanity with a great flood, but one man was secretly warned and saved animals in a boat. This story, predating the biblical account of Noah, suggests an ancient memory of a catastrophic event. Some ancient astronaut theorists argue the Anunnaki orchestrated the flood to control humanity or start anew. Alternatively, others believe it memorializes a real historical flood event, perhaps caused by rising sea levels after the last ice age. The Anunnaki and kingship. In many Sumerian texts, the Anunnaki are said to have lowered kingship from heaven. This idea, that rulers receive divine authority from the gods, was central to Mesopotamian political culture. Alien theorists twist this concept to suggest the Anunnaki installed human rulers as proxies to manage civilizations on their behalf. However, Historians explain this language as a symbolic expression of religious legitimacy rather than literal extraterrestrial governance. Modern pop culture and conspiracy theories. Today, the Anunnaki are everywhere, from History Channel's Ancient Aliens to science fiction novels, video games, and music. They've become modern mythological figures, their legend morphing with each retelling. Unfortunately, the Anunnaki narrative sometimes slides into conspiracy territory, linking them with secret societies, reptilian overlords, and hidden global agendas. While entertaining, such theories stray far from historical evidence and often rely on misinterpretations of ancient texts. What does science say? No credible archaeological evidence supports the idea that aliens visited ancient Mesopotamia or genetically engineered humans. DNA research shows modern humans evolved in Africa over hundreds of thousands of years, with no indication of sudden extraterrestrial genetic intervention. Similarly, the achievements of Sumerian civilization can be explained by gradual cultural evolution. Scholars recognize Sumer as a cradle of civilization because of favorable geography, fertile land, and proximity to trade routes. Yet the mysteries remain compelling. The rapid rise of Sumerian society still fascinates historians and leaves the door ajar for alternative theories, however unlikely. The Anunnaki as symbols. One more scholarly view sees the Anunnaki not as literal beings, divine or alien, but as symbolic representations of natural forces, cosmic order, and royal power. In this interpretation, the Anunnaki personify cosmic hierarchy, a reflection of how Mesopotamians viewed the universe as structured and governed by higher powers. Natural elements, deities associated with sky, water, storms, and fertility. Social order, gods legitimizing kingship, law, and social customs. Thus, their stories are humanity's way of explaining life's mysteries, rather than hidden records of alien intervention. Why it all matters. Whether as gods or aliens, the Anunnaki story endures because it speaks to universal human questions. Where do we come from? Who or what shapes our destiny? Are we alone in the universe? These questions have haunted humanity for millennia and continue to drive both scientific inquiry and myth-making. Even if the Anunnaki were only deities of clay and myth, they remind us of the extraordinary creativity of the human mind. They are part of the narrative tapestry through which ancient people explained the cosmos, life, and death. Ancient gods or alien visitors. Humanity has always looked to the stars and wondered who, or what, might be watching from beyond. For thousands of years, ancient civilizations worshipped powerful beings described as descending from the heavens. These figures performed miracles, imparted secret knowledge, and often demanded reverence as gods. But a provocative question lingers. Were these gods truly divine, or were they visitors from other worlds, misinterpreted as deities by early humans? This question lies at the core of one of modern culture's most intriguing debates, the idea that ancient gods were actually alien visitors. From ancient Sumer to the pyramids of Egypt, and from Mesoamerican temples to the myths of India, the evidence is puzzling, contradictory, and utterly captivating. Let's explore the arguments, evidence, and skepticism surrounding this controversial hypothesis. The birth of ancient gods. Across nearly all ancient cultures, a striking pattern emerges. Stories of gods arriving from the sky, wielding advanced knowledge and powers beyond human understanding. Sumerians spoke of the Anunnaki, powerful beings who descended from heaven and shaped civilization. Egyptians worshipped sky gods like Ra, who sailed the heavens in solar boats. Mesoamericans told of Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent who brought wisdom and law. Hindu texts describe gods flying in vimanas, mythical aerial chariots capable of soaring through the sky. These stories are not isolated. They're woven into the foundation of human history, recorded in stone carvings, tablets, scrolls, and oral traditions. To ancient people, such beings were gods, immortal, powerful, and divine. But were they? Enter the ancient astronaut hypothesis. In the 20th century, a radical idea began to challenge traditional religious and historical explanations. Perhaps these gods were not gods at all, but extraterrestrial visitors. This concept, often called the ancient astronaut theory, suggests Earth was visited in ancient times by beings from other planets. These beings possessed advanced technology far beyond human capabilities. Ancient people, lacking scientific understanding, interpreted these visitors as gods. These visitors may have influenced human civilization, culture, and even genetics. While fringe at first, the theory exploded into popular culture thanks to books, documentaries, and TV series like Ancient Aliens. Among its leading proponents was Erich von Däniken, whose 1968 bestseller Chariots of the Gods proposed that ancient structures, myths, and artifacts were evidence of alien contact. The arguments for alien visitors. Supporters of the ancient astronaut hypothesis often point to several key areas. 1. Advanced ancient knowledge. Civilizations like the Sumerians, Egyptians, and Mayans achieved extraordinary feats. Precision astronomy. Ancient people tracked planets and star movements with surprising accuracy. The Sumerians divided circles into 360 degrees, creating a mathematical system still used today. Megalithic architecture. Monuments like the Pyramids of Giza, Stonehenge, and Baalbek show engineering that seems sophisticated even by modern standards. How were stones weighing hundreds of tons moved and precisely fitted without cranes or modern tools? Complex calendars and mathematics. The Mayan calendar and the astronomical alignments of ancient sites hint at knowledge far beyond what historians expect of primitive societies. Proponents argue this knowledge suggests outside influence, perhaps guidance from technologically advanced beings. 2. Mythological descriptions of flying craft. Ancient texts often describe gods riding in vehicles that fly, roar, or emit fire and smoke. Hindu vimanas are described in Sanskrit texts as flying palaces capable of incredible speeds, aerial battles, and long-distance journeys. Some passages even mention engines fueled by Mercury. Ezekiel's wheel in the Bible details a vision of fiery wheels within wheels descending from the heavens, a scene that modern theorists interpret as a spacecraft encounter. Sky chariots and fire-breathing dragons appear in myths from China, Europe, and the Americas. Could these be poetic descriptions of alien technology witnessed by ancient people? 3. Alien imagery in art. Some ancient carvings, sculptures, and artifacts resemble figures in helmets, suits, or with oddly shaped heads and large eyes. Doga figurines from ancient Japan depict humanoid figures with goggle-like eyes and suits reminiscent of modern spacesuits. Mesoamerican art sometimes shows beings emerging from serpent mouths or controlling complex devices. Egyptian reliefs show elongated skulls and odd devices that some interpret as light bulbs or advanced technology. Skeptics call these interpretations wishful thinking or symbolic art. Believers see visual clues of alien visitors. 4. Genetic engineering theories. Perhaps the most controversial claim is that aliens engineered humanity. Authors like Zecharia Sitchin argued the Anunnaki altered early hominid DNA to create humans as laborers to mine Earth's resources. While this idea is fascinating, it lacks support from genetics, anthropology, and archaeology. Modern science shows humanity evolved gradually over millions of years, with no evidence of sudden genetic tampering. The skeptical view. While the ancient alien theory is popular, mainstream historians, archaeologists, and scientists overwhelmingly reject it. Here's why. 1. Underestimating ancient people. Ancient people were far more intelligent and innovative than often credited. Given centuries or millennia, they achieved remarkable feats through ingenuity, labor, and trial and error. The pyramids were built using sleds, levers, ramps, and thousands of workers, not alien tractors. Ancient astronomical knowledge arose from generations of patient observation, not interstellar tutoring. Artistic depictions of spacesuits or crafts are usually symbolic, religious, or stylized interpretations, not literal representations of aliens. The notion that ancient humans couldn't build monuments or understand astronomy without alien help is both historically inaccurate and dismissive of human creativity. 2. Misinterpretation of texts. Ancient texts are full of metaphors and religious imagery. Gods descending from heaven can mean spiritual communication, not physical space travel. Chariots of fire symbolize divine power, not spacecraft. Descriptions of flying machines in Hindu texts may be mythological embellishments rather than engineering blueprints. Sitchin and others have been criticized for mistranslating ancient languages, inserting alien meanings that scholars cannot find in the original texts. 3. No physical evidence. No artifacts, fossils, or genetic markers conclusively point to extraterrestrial contact. Despite extraordinary claims, no alien spacecraft parts, devices, or genetic anomalies have ever been found in credible archaeological contexts. While ancient mysteries remain, lack of evidence keeps the alien theory speculative. Why the alien theory persists. Despite the skepticism, the alien hypothesis continues to fascinate millions. Why? The power of mystery. Humans love mysteries. The idea that we're part of a cosmic drama involving ancient aliens is far more thrilling than dusty history books. The gaps in knowledge. Ancient history has real gaps. How civilizations advanced so quickly, or how certain structures were built, still puzzles researchers. Into those gaps step exciting, if unproven, theories. Modern culture. Movies, books, and television have cemented aliens in our cultural imagination. The alien explanation has become a modern myth in itself. Ancient gods as metaphor. Many scholars believe ancient gods reflect natural forces, gods personified storms, rivers, stars, and other natural phenomena. Political power. Rulers claim divine connection to legitimize their authority. Human psychology. Gods expressed fears, hopes, and social values. From this perspective, myths are poetry, not history. A cosmic perspective. It's worth noting that scientists no longer laugh at the idea of life beyond Earth. The discovery of thousands of exoplanets in the last 2 decades makes it plausible that intelligent life could exist elsewhere. However, the leap from aliens exist to aliens built the pyramids remains enormous. Carl Sagan, a passionate advocate for the search for extraterrestrial life, summed it up well. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. So far, no such evidence connects aliens to ancient gods. The psychological roots of alien gods. Some researchers believe the alien god connection fulfills psychological needs. A desire for connection. We long to believe we're not alone in the universe. A search for origins. Stories of aliens provide alternative creation myths in a secular age. A hope for rescue. Belief in powerful cosmic beings offers hope in a chaotic world. Aliens, like gods before them, may serve as cosmic parental figures, mysterious, protective, and all-knowing. Examples across cultures. Let's look briefly at examples often cited in the alien versus gods debate. Ancient Egypt. The pyramids of Giza continue to awe engineers and historians. Yet evidence shows their construction relied on simple tools and a massive workforce, not alien technology. The light bulb relief in Dendra Temple is widely debunked as a symbolic image of a lotus flower and serpent, not electrical devices. Sumerians and the Anunnaki. Sumerian texts describe the Anunnaki as powerful gods involved in kingship and destiny. Alien theorists reinterpret them as beings from another planet. Linguists find no mention of space travel or genetic engineering in authentic Sumerian writings. Hindu texts. Vimanas fascinate alien theorists, but Sanskrit scholars view them as mythological symbols of divine travel, not literal aircraft. Descriptions of weapons resembling nuclear blasts are poetic exaggerations common in epic storytelling. Mesoamerica. Some believe Quetzalcoatl was a white-skinned alien who promised to return. Historians see this as colonial reinterpretation of native myths. The legacy of the debate. Regardless of belief, the ancient gods versus alien visitors debate has left an indelible mark. It inspires curiosity about humanity's past. It sparks critical thinking about evidence, myth, and history. It highlights how modern culture reshapes ancient stories for new audiences. Even if no aliens built the pyramids, the conversation keeps humanity questioning and exploring. Gods or aliens? So, were the ancient gods divine beings or interstellar visitors? From a scientific standpoint, there's no credible evidence that aliens visited Earth in antiquity. Ancient texts, monuments, and myths are better explained through human culture, symbolism, and ingenuity. However, the possibility of extraterrestrial life remains scientifically plausible and endlessly fascinating. The alien theory persists because it taps into timeless human curiosity, wonder, and a thirst for cosmic connection. Whether through gods or aliens, humans seek to understand who we are, where we come from, and whether we are alone. In the end, the ancient gods, whether divine, alien, or purely human inventions, reflect the greatest mystery of all, ourselves. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the mysteries of the Anunnaki. Are they ancient deities, clever myths, or beings from the stars who shaped human history? The truth might still be out there, waiting to be discovered. Let us know your thoughts and theories in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you believe. If you enjoyed this journey, give us a thumbs up, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating explorations into history's greatest secrets. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and stay curious. This was Anunnaki Uncovered. Ancient gods or alien visitors?